Welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Jeff. Markets are open today, and we've got a packed tech briefing for you. With me is James, a London-based analyst who watches chips, cloud, and enterprise AI closely. Remember, if you have questions as we go, you can ask us at Stock Alpha Data.
Thanks, Jeff. Two headlines jumped out overnight. A startup called Positron raised $230 million for AI focused chips, and Prosus signed a multi year cloud and AI agreement with an Amazon cloud unit that's said to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Both signal continued spending on AI infrastructure, but they come with some important caveats.
Let's start with Positron. $230 million is a tidy round. What are investors getting excited about, and how should we think about the risk?
Positron is targeting high speed memory and accelerator chips optimized for AI workloads. The round takes their total raise to more than $300 million and includes a strategic backer in the Cato Investment Authority. For investors, it's proof that capital is still flowing into alternatives to the big incumbents. But building chips is hard and expensive. Execution risk is real. Manufacturing partners, yield curves, and customer wins matter much more than headlines.
So if I own shares in big chip names or a few small semiconductor plays, what should I watch?
Focus on the fundamentals. For Positron or any small cap, watch who joins the cap table next, what foundry relationships they announce, and early customer or design wins. For larger chip names, see whether investors treat this as incremental competition or just background noise. In trading terms, expect volatility in small caps. If you want exposure to the AI hardware theme, but worry about risk, size positions conservatively and consider taking profits on spikes.
Now the Prosus deal with Amazon's cloud business, why does that matter beyond the headline figure?
It's important because it's a multi year consolidation of cloud and AI services across Europe, India, and Latin America. Even if the deal is described as hundreds of millions of dollars, it shows enterprises are committing to manage cloud and AI platforms long term. That's a structural positive for cloud providers and for the ecosystem that sells services on top of cloud. It won't move a giant company's total revenue overnight, but it adds to steady, higher margin cloud demand.
Security is another part of the story. Reports flagged exploitable AI agents from some vendors. How serious is that for enterprise adoption?
This is a big deal in the near term. The issue is agents that have excessive privileges. If an AI agent can access too much, attackers can exploit it. Security teams are being told to limit privileges, segment access, and enforce strict controls. For investors, expect more advisories, patches, and a pause in some enterprise rollouts until controls are in place. Vendors that publish clear remediation plans and security roadmaps will look better to cautious CIOs.
Any smaller but still relevant corporate news we should note?
Yes, Adobe clarified it will keep its animation product Animate in maintenance mode rather than discontinue it. That's a modest reputational win for Adobe and a relief for creative customers. And on the regulatory front, a Senate subcommittee hearing with Netflix tied to its proposed Warner Bros. Deal keeps antitrust risk on the radar. That can dent M&A sentiment in media and spill into broader tech headlines.
Practical question for traders and investors today. What moves markets intraday, and what should people monitor on their screens?
Watch earnings and guidance from major cloud and AI vendors. Any commentary from Amazon, Microsoft, or Adobe about enterprise AI demand will be passed closely. Look for follow ups on the Positron round. New investors or partnerships matter. Track security advisories from Microsoft and ServiceNow and any remediation timelines. And keep an eye on small cap semiconductor names. They can gap on sentiment. If you need lower volatility, consider trimming exposure rather than holding through noisy headlines.
Great. Before we go, give our listeners three quick takeaways they can act on.
First, the Positron fundraise and the Prosus Cloud deal both point to continued structural demand for AI infrastructure, so the theme remains intact. Second, AI security is a near-term gating factor. Favor vendors that show clear privilege controls and fast remediation. Third, stay selective and size positions with risk in mind. Expect intraday volatility and be ready to trim if you want lower beta in your portfolio.
Thanks, James. If you have questions about anything we discussed today, you can ask us directly at stockalpha.ai. We answer listener questions live. And for more market insights, head over to stockalpha.ai. That's Alpha Insights. I'm Jeff, and we'll be back with more market context tomorrow.